A huge and warm hello to all the listeners and football fans, and welcome to a special episode of your favorite football podcast, Gaffer's Advisor. This is your host Siddharth Kathuria, and before we get on with this special episode and I tell you exactly what makes it so special, a quick reminder to please like, subscribe and follow Gaffer's Advisor on YouTube and Spotify. Now getting on with the episode, it is special because it is the episode which will be all about the grand finale of the FIFA World Cup 2022 in Qatar. It is going to be Argentina versus France, a dream for a legend versus a chance at history. Both the sides are chasing their third world title, but it means very different to both of them. For Argentina, it is about redemption. Redemption for Leo Messi and redemption for an entire nation which felt heartbreak after reaching this very stage 3 times before without winning it. The most recent being the 2014 World Cup final loss. On the other hand is France, a side chasing history and their own piece of it. After reaching successive World Cup finals for the first time since Brazil did in 2002 World Cup, Les Blues look to emulate Brazil once again and become the first side to successfully defend the world titles since way back in 1962. When it comes to head-to-head between the two footballing giants, the Albiceleste lead the record with 6 wins and 3 losses overall and a 2-1 lead when it comes to the FIFA World Cup tournaments. France, however, came out on top in their most recent encounter in the previous World Cup, and the Didier Deschamps side would look to ride this momentum into the finale. Both sides have solid performers and legends in their squad, be it attack, defense or the midfield. Another common thing between them is a healthy blend of talented youth and experienced legends, and this makes for one spicy final, or so everyone hopes. To talk more on this final and the two giants from Europe and South America, I would like to welcome a dear friend, an ardent fan of the beautiful sport football itself, and a long-time Portugal supporter, Soumitro Conchabanek. Hey Soumitro, welcome to Gaffer's Advisor. And since you're a Portugal supporter, can I safely assume you will be more or less unbiased for the final between Argentina and France?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So before we get to the final, I remember you shared your story of how you fell in love with Portugal. Would you mind sharing it with our listeners as well? The reason I'm asking is because the answer surprisingly is not Cristiano Ronaldo, which if we consider the modern day football is a surprise in itself. And the story you shared with me was actually beautiful of how you actually fell in love with the sport and with Portugal. And so, yeah, let's share it with the listeners as well.
Right. So I fell in love with this sport in the year 1996-1997. Luis Figo and Rui Costa. Okay, so I love the dribbling that Luis Figo used to make on these days. Those were the initial days of Luis Figo. And after that, we all know that he turned out to be a legend in Barcelona. And then finally with Real Madrid. So I love the team that the Portugal used to play in that particular time. But unfortunately, if you see in 1998 World Cup, you won't be seeing Portugal team as one of the team playing the World Cup. They failed to qualify the World Cup by 1 point to Ukraine. So the Ukraine qualified that year with the help of Shevchenko, and Portugal didn't qualify. So I was a bit. In 2002 they played, and from 2006, the legend Cristiano Ronaldo started playing or representing Portugal.
Thank you for sharing that. It's really something. And the beauty about that story is that it tells you how simple and how easy it is to just fall in love with football. And getting back to the World Cup, how surprised or shocked have you been with this World Cup that has happened?
So it was quite a surprising and great shocks came up in this World Cup. And for me, the greatest shock was Morocco beating Portugal in the quarterfinals. Okay, but really, Morocco was a team to actually cheer for.
You're absolutely spot on with this Morocco assessment, because even if you look at the semi-final against France that Morocco played, that
Right.
game was truly breathtaking. I mean, had France not taken that very early lead in fifth minute, the,
Mm.
the view of the game could have been very different. And even after France took that early lead, Morocco was still all over the defending champions. And that overhead bicycle kick that hit the post, had that gone in, the confidence in Moroccan players would have been on another level. And I think the landscape would have been slightly different. Could have been slightly different.
With the defending champions, 60% ball possession was too good.
Exactly. Exactly. Then again, that's where the quality of France came into play.
Right.
And now after a crazy tournament, we have Argentina taking on France in the final, the Copa America champions versus the world champions, the European giants versus the South American overlords. How excited are you about this final? And more importantly, did you see this final pairing before the tournament began?
Frankly speaking, no. Frankly, on paper, by the records, I actually felt it will be, somehow I was feeling it will be Argentina versus Portugal, the goat versus goat. That would have been a terrific game. And the lineup of the Portugal team, they have world-class players, starting from Cancelo, then Ruben Dias. Apart from Cristiano, we have João Felix.
We cannot forget the experience of Pepe in the back.
Correct. He is 39 years. He's still running across the field.
Exactly. Still going strong at 39. And look at the guy's stamina. Look at his physique. Look at his physicality in his tackles, in his defense.
So I was pretty sure it would be Argentina versus Portugal. Now you can see with France, luck is not the factor. Okay, I can see a lot of players, the world-class players, before the World Cup, they were grabbed by injury, starting from Benzema, Pogba, Kante,
Yes.
then Nkunku. So all of them were grabbed by injury. And during the World Cup, you can see, Rabiot. Then recent news I was just looking into, Varane and Konate were also, fell under that flu kind of symptom.
Yes, exactly. That has happened. And but we'll get to that actually. But before that, Shaumitro, I want to have your opinion on this thing. Didier Deschamps has played the formation of 4-2-3-1 in this entire tournament, with the exception of their group game against Tunisia. But then again, that game featured a heavily changed lineup. So I'm not really considering that as a game to analyze for France. Also, the players that have featured in this formation so far have remained more or less the same, including the names that you actually took who have fallen ill. So now, do you think Les Blues will line up the same way for the final in the same formation? And do you think it's like Deschamps has struck on a winning formula, or is it by now it's like simply showing the cards?
I think he will be continuing with the same formula, considering Argentina will play 4-4-2. Hopefully, Argentina will play 4-4-2. I think he will continue with 4-2-3-1. Only I think there will be few changes, like considering the injuries or the players not well. So I think so it will be starting. Lloris will be there. Konate, I don't think Konate can play, but Konate can be replaced by Upamecano. Okay, Tchouaméni will be there. Dembele, Griezmann. Yes, more or less the same lineup will be there.
Okay, but but talking about that virus, you mentioned Upamecano. Actually, Upamecano and Adrien Rabiot, the two players who missed out on the semi-final against Morocco because of the same illness. That is basically based on the reports. It's a virus that has struck the France camp, and it is also alleged that the virus struck after the quarterfinal against England, and it has apparently come from the English side. And you mentioned Konate, you mentioned Varane. Even Kingsley Coman has contracted this virus and is in not well to feature. And I mentioned Rabiot and Upamecano. You mentioned Upamecano can come in, but considering he's also taken by the virus, all these players we have already mentioned that they have featured heavily for Deschamps in this entire tournament. And given that he is, according to you, as you said, he is going to continue with the same lineup formation of 4-2-3-1, how badly does this virus affect the defending champions and their confidence, considering the reports and considering the players and considering the scenario right now?
It will happen. Like it will it actually plays a major role. People think or the synergy between the playing 11, the first starting 11, it actually matters. We have seen this throughout all the teams of the entire World Cup. So he has to play a gamble with few changes if the players are not available. But that's the synergy, the starting 11 synergy will definitely break if the same combinations are not continuing during the final.
Yep. Also, in their semi-final against Morocco, the French side took a very early lead, we know. And we have discussed how the African nation was looking very threatening in the entire match.
Right.
And also in this entire tournament, the French have kept just one clean sheet, which was against Morocco, the 2-0 win. And in rest of the matches that they've played so far, the remaining of the 5 matches, they have conceded.
Correct.
So do you think it is relatively easier to break the French defense? Like, no pun intended there.
A clean sheet because of Konate. Okay. Konate made very well saves in few of the cases, sure shot goals. So if you would have been there, then I think Morocco would have scored at least a goal. But considering Argentina's attacks, a great goal with Alvarez into form, the support of DePaul, then Fernandez, everyone, I think Argentina will definitely score. It will be easier for Argentina rather than Morocco.
I mean, of course, it will be easier for Argentina than Morocco. I mean, we cannot compare that. I mean, no disrespect to Morocco and the way they have showed up and how in this World Cup, but still, we cannot actually make that comparison between Morocco and Argentina. Also, there are reports of Karim Benzema being available for selection ahead of this final. With the illness, with the list of injuries that began with Karim Benzema, do you think Didier Deschamps would be tempted to take him in? In fact, if in fact he is available, do you see him starting or do you see him featuring in the final?
I'm not seeing him starting the game, but he can take a desperate move at the end of, like, if Argentina is leading, Deschamps can take a desperate call of putting Benzema into the 11. Other than that, I do not think that he will be changing the attack at least. The starting 11 with Dembele, Griezmann, Gaffer, and Giroud.
All right. We talked about how easier it would be for Argentina to actually, like you mentioned, Argentina will definitely score with the attacking prowess that they have and the players you mentioned. But talking about the clean sheets, Argentina has kept 3 clean sheets so far in this tournament, and they have scored only 1 less goal than France. So overall, if we look at the comparison, and even in their win over the Netherlands, which ended in a penalty shootout, their shot stopper Emiliano Martinez was crucial in that match. How effective and how instrumental do you feel he can be against the likes of Mbappe, against the likes of Giroud, and against the likes of Benzema if Benzema features?
Definitely, I feel for Argentina, what I think is that there are two pillars, the left and the right back, Molina and Tagliafico. They are holding that defense with the support of Romero, Otamendi, and later, as you said, Martinez coming down. Okay, so yes, I think Argentina will have a very good defense.
Yep, Soumitra, you mentioned the 2 pillars in the left and the right, and Molina and Tagliafico. But it is interesting to see, if you notice, Tagliafico has started only 1 match, which was the loss against Saudi Arabia. In the rest of the matches in which he has featured as a substitute.
Right.
So, considering that he's not even in the starting lineup in like most of the matches, do you think he could be an instrumental guy, like a potentially match turner in the final for Argentina if he starts or if he comes on?
So with the support of Romero and Otamendi, okay, so the DMC, so I think Tagliafico can play major role. If he starts, definitely will play a major role.
Okay, and like talking
And I
about
think he
even
will start. Later replaced by maybe Martinez or someone, but definitely he will start.
okay, that is a prediction right there. We will have to wait till Sunday to see if your thoughts agree with Lionel Scaloni. But talking of the goal scorers, Argentina has had various players chipping in with goals along with Leo Messi. While most French goals have come from either Mbappe or Giroud. So, what are your thoughts on the quantity versus quality aspect here? Because let's face it, no single player in the tournament can be taken for granted because they are basically playing at the highest level.
Correct. I think Argentina attack will have more sharpness than the French attack. Definitely French, we have Mbappe, Giroud and everything. But that teamwork in the attacking lineup is far sharper in the case of Argentina, what I feel.
And Shamato, you said in the beginning of the episode, when we started talking, you said that you would be an unbiased supporter,
Right.
like an unbiased observer and unbiased spectator. But going by your answers, going the way you're talking about Argentina's attack and their defense and how the players
Right.
are crucial and important and everything, I feel you're a little biased towards Argentina.
No, actually, I'm not a bias towards Argentina. Considering the fact I'm a great Portugal supporter, so that it is a good versus good for me. Okay, I should be against Argentina at that case.
Well, if you go by that logic, because yeah, goat versus goat, had that match taken place, would have been, I
Right.
think it would have broken the records of viewership and people following the
Exactly.
match online as well.
Exactly.
It would have been broken the internet. I feel that match had it taken place, but
Right.
so yeah, let's not digress or get distracted here. But Argentina manager Lionel Scaloni, we talked about this in the beginning. We basically touched upon it just like a tangent. So he has used three different formations. He has used 4-4-2 and 4-3-3 in the most matches, but against the Dutch in the quarterfinal, the only Argentina's match that was not decided in the regulation 90 minutes and went to penalties, the formation he played was 5-3-2. So what can we expect from Scaloni? 4-4-2, 4-3-3, or the surprise package?
I think it will be 4-4-2.
So you're
Starting
expecting a dual strike attack.
Correct. Correct. It will be 4-4-2. I think it will be 4-4-2 for Argentina and it's 4-2-3-1 for France.
4-2-3-1 versus 4-4-2, according to you, is going to be in the final. And let's come to the
Let's
big
see.
question.
Yeah.
Let's come to the big question. Who are you picking to win this Sunday? Argentina or France? Leo Messi or Kylian Mbappe? PSG's legend versus PSG's rising star. What are your thoughts on that? And what scoreline are you predicting?
I am predicting a scoreline of 2-1 in favor of Argentina.
All right. So 2-1 in favor of Argentina.
Right.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how efficient do you rate your predicting skills when compared to 1 being a normal human being and 10 being Paul Baba the octopus?
It will be around 5 to 6 average. Sometimes it's terrifically accurate. Sometimes it goes heavy. Not even in line.
That's a very diplomatic answer, but at the same time, I would respect that answer because considering football, anything can happen on a given day. We have all witnessed crazier things in life. So,
right.
Well, 2-1 to Argentina is your pick, and believe it or not, I'm actually going with a 3-1 win for Argentina as my prediction. I'm predicting
it has been a terrific World Cup, and it will be a great final.
I'm expecting nothing less out of it. Considering the two great nations, considering the history, the legacy, considering they both are chasing their third trophy, their third title reign, and it's like redemption for Messi, redemption for Argentina,
or it's like history for France. So there's a lot riding for both of these sides on this final, and that is why I'm expecting nothing short of an exciting and interesting game. But at the same time, you have to wonder if both the sides will go on all guns blazing from the get-go, or will they take some time to feel each other out, see how the other side is playing, and because considering it's the stakes, the stage, and what hangs in the balance.
Right, you are right.
Soumitra, thank you so much, man. It has been lovely and a pleasure to have you here on this episode talking about this amazing World Cup final that we are about to witness on this coming Sunday, 18th of December.
That was Soumitra with his take and his keen insights about the upcoming final of the FIFA World Cup 2022 in Qatar. And all things considered, including the recent developments in the French camp, it does look like a third World Cup title for the Albiceleste and the dream coming true for Lionel Andres Messi. But we all know how quickly predictions and insights can be proven garbage when acknowledging how beautifully unpredictable football can be. What do you all think will happen in the final? Which way do you all see the match going? Don't forget to share your views and predictions in the comment section. The FIFA World Cup may be coming to an end on December 18, but that means the return of the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League, and the crowded fixtures and the chaos that follows. I feel this remaining part of the season is going to be extra spicy. Keep following Gaffer's Advisor for upcoming updates and episodes about the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and follow Gaffer's Advisor and help your favorite football podcast grow. Until next time, this is your host and Gaffer's Advisor Siddharth Kathuria signing off.